beautiful, welcome back to Nat's Beautiful Life. Today I'm going to be sharing with you some winter book reading recommendations. I know that we are slowly but surely moving our way towards spring, but I think even in March some of us are still going to get cold and snow and all of that. So I'm still going to give you these recommendations here in February where you are probably bundled up and in your home. Yeah, our weather's weird in North Carolina. Could be like nice and sunny one day and warm, could snow the next, blah, blah, blah. It's been consistently cold the past month or so, and we've actually had snow every weekend. There's forecasted for snow. I'm in January while I'm recording this. I've been in bed all week or on my couch. I've left maybe to go get some medications and things. Wasn't COVID, but I was not well this week and starting to feel a little bit more like myself, but still not out of the water there. If you're new to this channel, hello, my name is Natasha, and I do videos on books, bullet journaling, media, anything I feel like doing a video about, and I'm so glad you joined us today. Feel free to click the little notification bell and or subscribe if that's all you want to do, or click the little like button if you like it. We like it when you're here. I feel like I'm looking really pale and dead. I don't have any eyeliner or anything on. I know it looks like I do, those are tattoos, but I had like a little infection in my eyelid as well, so I just feel like I look very plain. But anyway, enough about me. Let's get into the books. Okay, so I've got these separated into basically two categories, and the first one is the biggest one, and is the one with books that will make you feel the cold. The first one I'm going to hold up for you is Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. This takes place in an area that is cold. I believe it's winter and all that when we're starting, but also there is a fantastical kind of world that's kind of like another realm, and it is ice. It is an ice kingdom. Everybody who is from there is very icy looking and cold. You'll get what I'm saying when you read the book, but there's so much more to that. It is a loosely Rumpelstiltskin, I think, retelling, but it's very loose. You're not going to be like, oh, that's definitely a Rumpelstiltskin retelling, but no, it's very good. It's steeped in Russian folklore and things like that, and I really enjoyed it. You are following the perspective of three different women who are going through three different relationships and three different things, but when I say relationships, I'm saying like with fathers and all of that as well. So highly recommend this book. It's one of my favorite Naomi Novik's, and yeah, get you that. All right. Check out my little list here, because a lot of these I had gotten from the library. House of Salt and Sorrow by Erin, I have her other book here, Erin A. Craig. This is a book, again, it's a loose retelling of the 12 Dancing Princesses. This book will make you feel just damp and wet and cold. Her writing is so atmospheric and so descriptive, but it's not so flowery that it's just like, get to the point, lady. It's just woven in there so well, and I love her writing. My favorite book of hers is Small Favors, which I've talked about a lot this year on my channel. I think that's really great for like fall, even though there is some winter in there, but for cold dampness you can feel in your bones, House of Salt and Sorrow, and just kind of go into it blind. You have a rich kind of lord, land baron or whatever, and he has a whole bunch of daughters, and they just in turn keep dying. And yeah, it's really good, and I enjoyed that, and again, you will feel the cold. The next one is Beartown by Frederick Bachman. I have the second book on my TBR for like this month or next month. This is a book that takes place in a hockey town. I think it's kind of like an island, maybe around Sweden. It is a translated work. Frederick Bachman, all of his stuff that you get in English is translated. Incredible book. The whole town centers around hockey, and of course, like, good old boys club, and the hockey team can, you know, do no wrong because they're like the stars of the universe there. The town itself has been dying and not been doing well, but with the hockey team being like in the finals or being like in the, you know, the championships, it's putting a lot more focus on the town that has been there before, and they are trying to get a new hockey rink built there, so it would bring in more tourism and things like that for tournaments and things, you know, of the sort. But there is a rape that happens. It's not graphic, so it's not graphic, so if that's something that bothers you in books, it is also not the center of the book. There is it is, but what I'm saying is there's a whole bunch going on in this book, but that is one of the things that kind of shakes things up, is that particular horrible circumstance. And then also when the person who says, and who she is to the hockey team as well, who she is, and she's saying, hey, this happened to me, how everybody responds, because there's a lot at stake here if the hockey team doesn't have a good reputation. But, you know, there's just so much. But again, it takes place in a lot of times you're in on the hockey, what do you call that? Stadium? You're in a stadium, it's cold, and then it's cold where they are, and it's just, you feel it in you. You feel like you're walking through snow while you're reading this book. It's just so good. And by the way, I highly recommend that book. It's like, it's so good. Like, even if you just want a mystery or a little book or something, it's good. It's good. Okay, the last one kind of in this fictional category is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. If you haven't read this book yet, or even, it is the fourth book in the Grishaverse, but you can read this and Crooked Kingdom without reading the first three. And the reason why I pointed this one out is because you feel the cold. You feel like, you know, they're by fires. I just feel like they're always coming out of the cold and trying to be like warmed up. But they also have a side story that's going on to the big story. And the side story is this adventure between Nina and Matthias, two of the characters, who are traveling through cold, and they're so cold that like they have to like sleep bundled up together, and they're like enemies. And then they also go do this heist in a very icy climate. It is like they're going to, it's almost like you picture Santa's workshop, the North Pole, and all the ice. That's where they're going to do their heist. So you will feel the cold in you as well. Highly recommend this book. Love it. Now I'm going to move to some nonfiction works that are in the same category of still makes you feel the cold in your bones. The first one is Made by Stephanie Land. So it's called Made, Hard Work, Low Pay, and a Mother's Will to Survive. This follows Stephanie Land, who is a woman living in a low-income situation, and that is just to put it mildly. And she has a daughter, and she talks about, of course, the menial tasks and work that she has to do, but also their living situation, where they get housing that is not properly insulated, and there's dampness and there's cold in the home, and just there's a lot of all the things that they do to keep warm, and just trust me, this book will make you feel the cold in those winter times. It doesn't take place all through winter, like the whole thing isn't about winter, but there's quite a bit of her survival and her working and trying to live and keep a healthy, I would say, kind of routine for her daughter during these cold months. And it's excellent. It's an excellent book anyway. It's a great study on someone in her position. And this is a must read for everybody. I love this book. All right, so the next book is 81 Days Below Zero by Brian Murphy. The little tagline is, the incredible survival story of a World War II pilot in Alaska's frozen wilderness. I'm just going to read you the description. The basic is that he is around the time of World War II, and he is in a plane, and that plane crashes in Alaska, and he has to survive in the frozen. Oh yeah, anyway, it'll make you like set a fire. Even if you don't have a fireplace, it will make you go outside and set a fire just so you can be near it. Anyway, so this is what the description is. Shortly before Christmas in 1943, 5 Army aviators left Alaska's Ladd Field on a routine flight to test their hastily retrofitted B-24 Liberator in harsh winter conditions. The mission ended in a crash that claimed all but one Leon Crane, a city kid from Philadelphia with no wilderness experience, with little more than a parachute for cover and an old Boy Scout knife in his pocket. Crane now found himself alone in sub-zero temperatures. Crane knew, as did the Ladd Field crews who searched unsuccessfully for the site, that his chance of survival dropped swiftly with each passing day. And he spends 81 days out there before he is finally rescued. And yeah, this book is it's something else, and it's not that long, so pick this up. This is great for winter, and I highly recommend reading this in the winter. Don't even try it in the summer. No. So the next book, I'm going to pull this up, is The Glass Castle by Jeanette Wells. Yes. This book is a memoir of Jeanette Wells and her family. Her parents, I think, were like bohemian kind of hippie types, and they thought they were living the free life, but they were living in poverty, and their kids really suffered for it. And they were so poor that at one time, I think it was Jeanette came home and she was still a child and there was nothing to eat. So she ate the stick of butter that she found in the refrigerator. Her mother comes home and is basically mad that she ate the stick of butter because I think she was gonna want to eat the stick of butter. That's where they are right now. So you can imagine they moved to a mountain town with little to no insulation in their little cabin, and it gets cold and it's bad, and just the whole, that's my dog flipping his ears. So this is just a very harrowing account of them trying to survive, not only with not having a lot of money, but literally trying to survive in the heat and in the cold, and you will feel it in your bones. All right, my last category is science fiction, which you may think, what? But I'm telling you why. Sometimes we need an escape from this cold earth. And I think that being on a spaceship with no atmosphere is a great time to read some sci-fi. So I have just 3 quick recommendations here. There are so many, but I love anything that takes place on a spaceship, or there's a crew, or you're going to terraform planets and stuff like that, because it doesn't matter. We make the atmosphere. It's not real. But anyway, if you need to escape the winter cold, here's a couple books to try. I'm gonna point out Children of Time by Adrian Tchaikovsky. This follows a group of astronauts, and it's not just one ship, it's a bunch of ships that got sent out from the Earth to try to find another planet for humans to live in. The Earth is almost uninhabitable at this point, and there's wars and all these things going on. So scientists have found a way to create a virus that they could put in monkeys to make them evolve very quickly, not into humans, but into intelligent monkeys, and can prepare these planets for humankind whenever it's time for them to come. The monkeys blow up, and the spiders make it to this particular planet, because there's some sabotage going on, and this all happens right away. And so we find that these spiders are actually working and terraforming the planet. There is a group of people on their way to this planet, assuming and hoping with everything that they have that the monkeys are there and have set up everything. You're following the people on the spaceship and also the spiders on the ground, and it's a good time. I know it sounds weird, but trust me, it's great. And the writing is beautiful. I love his writing. I read the second book in this series, which is Children of Ruin. You don't have to read that one. This one wraps up pretty well, but it does kind of follow like another planet, etc., etc. But this is incredibly good. I love it. And again, totally, you know, spaceship making your own rules. I've mentioned this one 1,000 times, and I think I read this last February. Anyway, so The Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini. It takes place mostly on spaceships or space stations. So yeah, it's just awesome. If you don't know what this book is about, we have humanity has left Earth. Earth is still inhabited by humans and things like that, but there's still there's planets and galaxies that the humans have moved to, so they're everywhere. They have not come into contact with aliens in the past, but they do see remnants that they have existed in certain areas. So while our main character is on a certain planet looking for if it's viable for people to live on, she comes across an artifact, and that artifact wakes up and it kind of makes the aliens kind of like beacons them, and they come, and there's a whole lot going on. There's found family, there's a sentient kind of spaceship thing going on. There's a lot to that book, so just kind of go into it and just enjoy. Just read. Don't wonder. Don't expect. Don't do anything. Just read the book, and I love it. And the last one I'm going to mention to you, because it's the perfect time to read all of them, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. This is the ultimate. So this is all of the novels in one bind up. But the original novel and all of the novels that come, like, all the novels in here are short, is what I'm saying. I think there's, let's see how many there are. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books in this one bind up. So the books themselves are not that long. They're great. It takes place on mostly a spaceship. There is a depressed robot named Marvin, who is like the best character of all. There's it's just whimsical and weird and fun and quirky. Oh, so quirky. And I love this book so much. It was one of the first books that I read, and I thought, someone thinks like me, because he's so ADD. He is so ADD with this writing, and I love it. So, yeah. All right. Those are some of the winter recommendations I have for you. So, books that will make you feel the cold, and those that will help you escape the cold. Let me know what you are currently reading and what you're reading this winter in the comments below, and I will see you again very soon right here on Nat's Beautiful Life. Have a great day, gorgeous.